video is for those of you who have been asking me to film horizontally instead of in portrait mode. I have finally listened to my viewers, and I am doing something to improve your video viewing experience. Last time I said you might be wondering why what I'm filming this on, and the truth of the matter is I was filming all my videos for Phone Home. Welcome to Phone Home, by the way. On this, the Microsoft Lumia 950. This is the last Windows phone that was released that was, from Microsoft themselves. This thing came out in 2014, and they never made a mainline Windows phone again. This is the last one. It's got a mid-range Snapdragon 808 processor inside. If you got the larger Lumia 950 XL, you got the premium, top of the line at that time, Snapdragon 810. But this is running the 808. It's got a nice sizable battery here. Just take that right out. As you can see, the battery is removable, so that's fun. This is where you would put your SIM card and micro SD, just in the side there. And the cool thing is that it's got like a little spring in it, so you can feel like you're really ejecting the micro SD card when it comes out. So that's pretty cool. This thing also has an iris scanner on the front. It's not very easy to see, but it does have it, so it will scan my eye to log me in. It's kind of like Face Unlock, but it's slower, I think, and I haven't really tried Face Unlock, but I imagine it's not as accurate. Sometimes I have to bug my eyes out a little bit for it to recognize me. So it's not a perfect solution, but it is kind of neat. And of course, in 2014, there were not phones, using your face as a way to log in. That wasn't how they rolled. But this is a pretty cool device. We've got a headphone jack on top. You've got a backfiring speaker. Oh, I put this case on upside down. Let's, so you've got a speaker, flash. This is a 3-color flash, and your Carl Zeiss lens. Truth be told, the Zeiss lens doesn't really make it any more special. What makes it special is it's about 20 megapixels, which allows you to take some pretty decent photos, as well as 4K video at 30 frames per second. So that's what this thing does. On front, you've got a screen. You should be able to tell that the bezels are pretty thick, about as thick as my pinky, it looks like, on top and bottom. And that was the design language in those days. They didn't bother with any of that. It runs Windows 10 Mobile, which actually is still around, and is still going to be supported until the end of this year, 2019, which is pretty exciting stuff. Basically, the idea is that it's got live tiles, a bunch of squares. You can look up videos of what it looks like, but it's a pretty cool operating system, but everything's very janky, and a lot of apps that you can get on other platforms aren't available on it. You can't get Snapchat, for example. And like I said, it won't be supported at the end of the year, and then it won't be secure or safe. You just won't be able to use it the same way you could. I used that as a phone for a while. It's pretty nice. It's got a dedicated camera button on the side here. The lock button's in the middle, and then the volume rocker's on top, which confuses people when they take it and try and mess with it, because they're like, I don't get it, what's this button do? And it opens the camera for them, which is kind of funny. But Overall with this phone, I would say, it's not bad. It has a tendency to overheat. It has a tendency to run through the battery really quickly, but that might just be the really old battery in this particular phone. It's not really an optimal phone unless you're comfortable carrying a charger around, or unless you have short days. You might, leave it always plugged in. It supports Continuum, which is kind of a neat idea. Basically, you can use any compatible Windows 10 computer as a screen for your phone. So you just push a button and then your phone acts kind of like a desktop computer. Because it's Windows 10, Not every app runs, of course. All the Office apps work. And they even have, let me see, I believe I have this. They even have this little dock here, which is a pretty nice thing. You can see here you plug the USB-C into the bottom of the phone's USB-C, and then you can basically run all your computer stuff through here. There's HDMI, I believe this is DVI out, so you can plug it into a monitor. You've got your USB. You've got 3 USB ports here, which is really excellent. You can charge your other phones off of it if you want. Of course, the device itself, the dock itself, needs power. But really, it's just a big weighty thing. You could use this. You could play basketball with this thing. You could play baseball, football. You could go long with it. This is a hefty device, and unfortunately, I was not able to procure the right power cable for it. So I just use the wireless function, you can Bluetooth to your computer and use it that way. I haven't tried it on my computer yet. I don't know why. I guess because smart TVs are just more fun. You got a bigger screen and all that. But this is a fun phone. It's fun to mess around with. I picked it up online and I wasn't, dissatisfied with it. Except for the battery life. The battery life sucks.